All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem. Rakakwadash, the honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Wa'akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Another video through the spirit. Your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Hey, this is going to be fair use. It's going to be using a clip from Myron Gaines. Hey, Myron, I don't get no profit off of this. This is for educational and edificational purposes only. You get no financial benefit from this whatsoever. All right, so hey y'all, brothers and sisters, man, I came across this clip, man. This shit crazy, and this clip it highlights. See, the reason why this world is given over to wickedness is because the people that are running the world are exceedingly wicked. And we have many scriptures that show that. When you take a person and put them in power, if they have a mindset that is perverse and wicked, then by proxy, everybody under them will be wicked. And we know that the so-called white man, whether you like it or not, is at the hegemony of the earth. He's running the show. And here it is, you're going to have a guy on the left who he's supposed to be older. He's supposed to know wisdom. But this guy has the mindset of like a party kid stuck in the 1970s. His viewpoints that he was given about women and the things that they should and shouldn't be doing with their bodies, y'all. It's just like Esau has to be removed out of power. They do not have the right mindset to be ruling the earth. Hence, they allow all this evil to go on in the world, and he's just a small peon. The elite Edomites at the top, behind closed doors in the shadows, are the ones allowing these things to go on. They don't care if society's corrupt and polluted, as long as they can rule over it. I'm gonna come back. We'll start with this. Man, you have to set somebody just up over the people. God damn it! You can't have a wicked ruler over. Otherwise, wickedness spreads. I just want to start with the Job 9 and 24. Who the earth is given to right now? Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? So dealing with the upper part, man. The earth right now is being ran by wicked rulers. The things that they allow people to do is utterly abominable. So let's get a mind. Let's take a look into the mind of the so-called white man, and you wonder why the world is fucked.
What difference does it make if a woman sleeps with 100, 200 men, but when you get to them, let's say she's out of that phase and she doesn't want to do that anymore, she wants to get married, it's a different moment. Why would that be wrong?
Promiscuity within feminism is the reason why the nuclear family has been tarnished, and the degradation of the nuclear family destroys the society. So it's a domino effect. That is not good.
Understand, it seems narrow-minded and mean. Like, I don't care what anyone does, and it's like really horrible. I'm not going to put a sign up here and call them a slut. I have two daughters. I don't like to call them hoes. You call it a hoe. I call it having a good time.
What I'm saying now, with the deregulation of dating and where we are now, the reason this is bad is because women take their prime years in their 20s to basically be sluts.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Hey, what's up?
You are. What does that mean? Bring back slut shaming. What does that mean?
It means we need to have social conventions in place to dissuade women from being promiscuous.
What's wrong with women being promiscuous?
Well, there's a lot of things that are wrong with it.
Can you tell me a few?
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, what it basically leads to is the destruction of the family unit, right? It leads women to not being happy. It leads women to down a road that isn't necessarily productive to their, long-term fulfillment in life. Because a lot of girls, we can take like women that work in sex work, for example, right?
Well, sex work is different than promiscuous. Someone wanting to get fucked is not the same thing as someone who sells their body. So I had to disagree.
Actually, that's the definition. A woman that's a sex worker is literally the definition of being promiscuous. Her job,
a lot of
job
women
requires
that
her to
are
be
doing it for money. They're doing it for money. They don't care.
So you think if it's for money, it changes it?
Yeah, I do. I think if a woman likes to have sex, that she should be allowed to do it. But if a woman sells her body, that's a totally different topic. Apples and oranges for me. It's a totally different.
No,
thing.
they're pretty much the same because it has the same effect.
But that's just our opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's a distinction without a difference, right? Like whether they're a paid sex worker.
So y'all hear this guy? He is a proponent of the F movement. This guys like him, y'all. You have the phrase what? Weak men create hard times create strong men create good times, good times create weak men. He's a part of that cycle, the weak men that create bad times. And Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, naturally is a weak man. He allows evil to flourish in the world. You can hear him talking, so it gives you an insight to his mindset. What's wrong with a woman being promiscuous? Sex is, if she just wants to get fucking and make money, it's the same. Okay. If a guy is a terrorist, if a guy likes to kill people because of his beliefs, and another guy likes to kill people because he's a mercenary and he needs to make money, is the mercenary guy more justified? You see what I'm saying, y'all? So just because you're doing something to make money means it's right? No. You can apply that dude, but this is the mindset that the majority of the so-called white males in this world have. How do we know that? Because look how the world is being ran. Who gave these women these so-called liberties and rights? Not us. Because our black asses, Negroes, Latinos, and Native American men, we were slaves, right? After this man conquered us and put us down. The so-called white man has allowed these women to have this position of power to break up the family. They're naturally perverse in their minds, and no real man would want women being promiscuous. Even, y'all, you read in the book of Esther, gotta go to it, other nationalities of heathen even know this. Now, they're all heathen, they're all going to be subjugated by us. But Esau, Edom, he's the worst of the bunch, y'all. He's the most demonic of the heathen. He's the liberal freak demon. Esther 1, I'm going to just start right at it, right? We know Esther, she didn't want to come to the king when she was called, and the men took counsel because they knew that this would spread. Esther 1 and 17, it says, "For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath." So the Persians and Medes understood this. We can't let these women get out of order, because if they do that to one man, they'll do it to all the men. This guy here, he is arguing to allow women to be promiscuous. I have daughters. Would you want your, what if you have daughters, wouldn't you want them to be non-promiscuous? Would you want your daughter to have 100 sex partners? Insanity, y'all. Insanity.
That's a distinction without a difference, right? Like whether they're a paid sex worker or doing it for free is still problematic on both ends, right?
Okay,
And I don't think that that's conducive to a better and thriving society to have women be basically selling their bodies. And the problem here, right, the real big problem is we all know that prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. But the problem now is we
people
incentivize,
that drive loud cars like that are really
insecure. The most annoying people
they want attention. But I still disagree.
We incentivize and monetize promiscuity in women, and now we have this OnlyFans culture where not only are young people want to be influencers, but young women think, oh, I don't need to go to school. I don't need to do this. I can go ahead and just sell feet pictures on the side or be a sugar baby.
But that's a small percentage of women. Most women aren't selling themselves, and you're still creating a smokescreen. A woman who likes to have sex is not the same as someone who's selling themselves, which is, again, a small percentage of the population.
I would argue that if you take sugar dating, selling feet pictures, monetizing on Instagram to a degree, and having your profile up with a Cash App in it, most attractive women, modern women, to some degree, has done some kind of sex work, whether it's overtly or covertly.
Where do you get that stat? That most attractive.
Well, you're never going to find a study like that because
right. So whether you like Myron or not, we know that some of the things he's saying right here is true, right? This whole modern day, relationship between man and woman has been thrown upside down because they've been given the liberty to do things that they weren't able to do, in the years past. This is inarguable. So what this really it just highlights, y'all, Esau has to be removed out of power because his mindset is one that's backwards and perverse. And so if he has a mind like that, by proxy, what happens? Sirach 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So there's the immediate correlation, y'all. If you have a guy ruling at the top who isn't right, it spreads. like bad. So if the ruler is wicked, then the people under him will be wicked. Point blank, period. So, you know, that guy, he's arguing from a perspective, you would think he's being comical or not serious. You know, some of the things he's saying, but he's being dead ass serious, y'all. And that is one of the problems in the earth. These people are hell-bent on doing everything that's completely anti-scriptural. You have people who actually walk around and believe that living these types of demonic lifestyles is okay and permissible, and it should be promoted. That's why the world's out of order. Verse 3 says, "What? An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." So rulers must be inhabited. And this guy and his people are not good rulers. They're not prudent. They let people do things that are cannibalistic to them own selves. So we're seeing in live time the mindset of Eve.
That most attractive.
Well, you're never going to find a study like that because the study board,
so
the
what
people
you're
that
saying
run
is
these
not
studies.
true.
No,
What
no,
you're
no.
saying is not true.
Here's the thing: you're not going to get studies on everything, right? Sometimes
I know,
you just
but
have to
you brought up a study and it's not true.
I didn't bring up a study at all.
Yeah, you did. You said most women that are attractive are on OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Yes,
okay, where's the evidence to back that up?
No. Here's the thing: you're not going to get a study on something like that because that would be considered unethical.
Why would you bring it up then?
Because I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
After me talking to well over 3,500 to almost 4,000 women, meeting women from all the different parts of the world.
I didn't hear him start. 3,500 to 1,000 women?
It's 36?
And
okay.
What percentage of the American women in the population? 125, 150 million? So you don't even have 1/10 of 1%.
No.
That you're calling
Can I
slut
finish
shaming.
my point before you, come in and, simp for the girls?
I'm sorry, what? I did not hear you. Wait, when I come in and what for the girls?
Yeah, simping for the girls. If I can go ahead and finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry, y'all. Just coming back. I'll let it go. Matter of fact, let's jump to this next one. I'm going to jump around now, actually, as a matter of fact.
You're really saying that?
Yeah.
That's kind of cruel, don't you think?
It's the reality. I mean...
No, it's your reality. It's not mine,
Okay.
It's like
all
most
right,
men,
let's...
most men feel that way? You think it's okay to call women sluts if they want to sleep around? And you have the guts to answer, or you just want to be quiet? That's what I thought.
No, so it's actually interesting because what you're doing right now,
being a slut?
right? What you're doing right now, right? Is precisely what I'm critical of. You are reinforcing bad female behavior.
Why is that bad female behavior? They get up in the morning, right? And they want to have sex.
Let's address some of the points that you made before.
Let's
address some of the points you made before.
Mr. Right comes along.
So first you made a claim because you made a couple different.
So, man, he just talking crazy. Let me go to the next one, man. His dude crazy.
Good. People open their mind. People got to that 50s mentality. People are having a good, enjoying life. Then it's like the pendulum slings.
Got out of that 50s mentality. The ancient world style, y'all. Honor, integrity, chastity, right? It's like a proper union. And y'all, this is the spirit of Eve. This is everything that you're supposed to do. They do the exact opposite.
Pendulum swings both ways.
I disagree with that because, like I said before, women nowadays don't have much to show for it. Why is it that despite the fact that they've made more money, more rights than ever before, more privilege, why are they still depressed? Why are they still sad? Why are women taking anti-anxiety? Look, man, if we're gonna have a conversation, you don't have to be on some moral,
So lucky, y'all.
And I just told you have 2 daughters. Not virtue signaling.
I'll use it. We're gonna have a conversation. You don't like the term, that's fine. I'm going to call it a hoe face because that's what it is.
Where a woman has a period of time. Yeah.
Look, man.
So you wouldn't like to call them that, but you'll let them activate in that behavior. It's complete hypocrisy.
If we're going to have a conversation, we don't have to be on some moral, virtue signaling stuff. You don't want to use that term, that's fine.
In my opinion. I just told you have 2 daughters. It's not virtue signaling.
I'll use the term then. You're making the argument that what's so wrong with a woman going through a hoe phase? The problem with that is when a woman has a lot of different sexual partners, what ends up happening is they get this mindset of the grass is greener on the other side. And the more men that they've slept with and the more men they are with, what ends up happening is they have a bigger body of work to compare the man that they're with against. That is not good. Because she serves me, she submits to me, she obeys me. Fine.
I will value. And obeys you. Okay, so when you come home, she puts a red carpet out and blows trumpets, makes you meals,
and feeds me grapes.
Being miserable.
And feeds me grapes, yes. So I am able to appreciate that. But on the other hand, with women...
So, we're good on that, right? You see just the complete... He's all for it. And it just goes to show you, y'all. And another thing, let me get that wisdom song. I'm in the store, so they playing music, Salakia, but... Age is something that's earned, not given. Wisdom is something that's earned, not given. Wisdom of Solomon 4, 8 through 9, it says, for honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years, but wisdom is a gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. So right here it is. That guy, visibly he looks, probably in his 60s, right? Probably late 50s or 60s. You would think the guy would have at least a degree of wisdom, but he doesn't. And that's the majority of these Americans. All them years that went by, but the motherfucker ain't learned nothing. A damn shame. Grew up, we went your whole lifelong still being a damn fool. And Esau in particular, y'all, that is the lifestyle that he promotes. Do as thou wilt, and you can't do as you will. A real leader, a responsible leader, a proper leader knows that you can't have everybody run around doing whatever the fuck they want, because it leads to death and destruction, decay, lewdness, right? Yeah, that scripture in Tobit. Lewdness is the mother of famine. When you're doing all this wickedness, it spreads throughout the society and it brings it down. This is the, God damn it, this mindset that Edom has is proliferating the world. So it's no wonder why people are down here running around on a fucking nut, because you have guys like that. So imagine, right, the average Jake, y'all, right? Let's say you did something wrong, your parents beat you, right? When you got a person like that who doesn't chastise you for wicked behavior, and they allow the wicked behavior to increase, what's going to happen? You're going to grow up to be a piece of shit. And so now you have a whole bunch of pieces of shits running around in the earth because they weren't chastised or taught right from wrong. Now look at the fucking world. Now look at the fucking world with the mindset of Esau, Edom, proliferating it. This shit it seemed like it's a skit. He's literally saying everything that you just wouldn't say or you wouldn't think to say. Of course you wouldn't want your daughter to have 100 bodies. Of course you'd want her to cover herself and be chaste. What the fuck are you talking about? But you get offended at the word slut, but not her actually being a slut? Y'all, these people are fucking crazy. These people are fucking crazy. This is why Esau has to be removed. Let me get, you have to set somebody up who's righteous over the people. Matter of fact, I'll keep it simple. I'll go to Isaiah. I'll keep it simple. Isaiah 24. This is why the world is breaking down, because these are the people that are running around in the earth. Isaiah 24 and 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. People like that guy who let evil run rampant throughout the world is why this shit is all broken up. And of course it's an Edomite, because that's the spirit of Edom. What does it say in Genesis? Evil lieth at the door, and it shall be thy desire. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is intertwined with Satan. Everything that he thinks is right is what Satan leads him to do. Hence, it brings nothing but death and chaos to the world. And now that this man is the leader of the world, now you see the wickedness all throughout the world. I got another one, and I'll end with this one. This is why, y'all, it'll be a good day when this guy is removed out of power, because as long as he is in power, that type of foul mindset is just going to spread, and he'll have a scientist back it up. He'll have 10 out of 10 doctors say, right? He'll release some sort of study. And like Myron said, which is true, there's certain things you aren't going to find studies on, but we know it to be true. We know these hoes is hoes. You don't need a study on that. You don't need a study to know that It would be better for you to be raised up by your father and your mother in their right sense of mind than just your mother struggling to pay bills, selling coochie on food stamps and shit. That's not arguable. That's not up for debate. And just because we can't pull a stat on it doesn't mean it's not true. These fucking Edomites and their fucking stats. And percentage, you can go eat a dick. That's what you can do with them stats. God damn it. One more. Alright, Sirach 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And the one that's profitable coming soon is Yahweh Shai, y'all. Because Esau Edom is not fucking profitable, man. These dudes are demons. This place is going down. It's just going down under Esau's rulership. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem. Rakakorash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwat, learning, teaching, in truth and sincerity. Shalom.